Good afternoon, good evening, or good morning, wherever you are following us. Welcome to Speed Gaming 4. I am Nitro6003. I'm commentating this with Wolf-Link3070. This is open co-op share week 1 of League Season 4. How are you, sir?
Good evening, everyone, and I'm doing pretty good. So tonight we have Game 2 between Team Skull Kids featuring Ganon and Shireen, like you said, and Team Waffle House Drive-Thru. This is co-op info-share all dungeons, which means we have to do every single dungeon. Pendants, crystals, both aghanims actually as well. And the team on the left and the team on the right are facing each other, but they're allowed to share information between their teammates, which means you're going to see a lot of this, what we see right now, diverting routes, as we see 20 rupees over in the secret passage. And a bow as well on Salty Fries, and that must have been on Uncle.
Yeah, and I guess deciding who goes where is all part of just, you know, their practices that they've done throughout the...
Yeah, they definitely have practices for a while now. There was an lumberjack check as well, but I could not tell what it was, unfortunately.
So it looks like Salty Fry and Gamachu will be doing the escape to see if there's anything there that their teammates may or may not want.
Yeah, big thing about this is because of the infrastructure nature, or one team member can do all the checks, and then the other person come back later if there's anything important. This could also mean there's a discrepancy in health and safeties, which means things could get a little hairy for some people. I believe there was last race, there was someone with only like 7 hearts.
Yeah, because you're skipping a lot of that stuff that you would normally pick up to save as much time and to complete the game as fast as possible. So yeah, you're definitely going to see low health and low males, potentially.
Map check here, I think I saw 2 crystals with Eastern being a blue pendant.
Yeah, that's what I saw. So no 5-6 crystals at least. They're all going to be in the dark world.
We see Shireen gathering bombs. One of the more interesting spots. And we have a vanilla pack of 3 bombs there on Matt's side. Ganon burn as well. That can be useful for invincibility checks. Not that great otherwise.
It's just a lag cane. So nothing in the front of escape, at least.
This is a little extra money, which they can actually use that to buy Superrun later, but more likely they'll buy Zora first.
Yeah, they have a lot still to buy, so I'm sure they're not necessarily looking to turn down money. 3 bombs on the island.
Now, one thing that I should have mentioned is the nature of how who declares the winners. We see the Book of Medora there on Matt's side. Simply put, it is down to averages. The average finish time of one team will be pitted against the average time of the other team, and the one with the faster average time wins.
Yeah.
And in case that's a little too complicated for you to understand, basically, if the teams finish in such a way that, let's say, for example, Waffle House finishes right back to back, but Skull Kids finishes bookends that time, that would be when the average matters. If one team finishes before the other, or in any other scenario, they'll always have a faster average time by default.
Sounds like good to me. And we have a lamp in the, I think that was chicken coop, which is always nice to see early. But other than that, it looks like Eastern Palace or Desert could be a play. We do have a book as well. See if anyone's going to take that book into Desert or not, because it could be boots locked.
Gamshu, meanwhile, is going to do Eastern Palace. This is full clearable with the knowledge that we have now, actually, so won't have any risk of leaving an item behind. Might be a bit tricky to get to the Armor Sites, though, without having that lamp. Gonna have to snipe the Igor in the dark.
Yeah, but that's one of the, I wouldn't say one of the harder dark rooms, so I'm sure they'll be fine with that one.
It's definitely one of the more intermediate ones I find without having the lamp. Because you also have those, I believe they're called popoys, those little tentacle monsters.
Yeah, they are a little annoying.
Yeah, those things are always in front of the Igors in that room when they spawn, so they can block up the first couple of arrows and give enough time for the Igor to move and get out of position that you're used to.
All right, so Salty Fry for his team is going to check Mini Moldorm Cave. Let's see what's in there. Looks like Matt is going to head over to Eastern with that lamp.
So far, we have seen nothing out of Eastern Palace. We see a bottle of the green potion and a glove, though. Both great items to have. And our sword.
That's becoming the new hype cave in this version of the rando. Oh, there's a chat. That's important. That's mountain. That's East South Mountain access.
Yeah, and with the glove we just found, that gives us full Death Mountain access without the flute. So
yeah,
that's actually really good information. The sword also puts us one away from an early Aghanim, which, granted, is a required Aghanim regardless, because the Aghanim needs to fall in order for the all dungeons goal to be met. But realistically speaking, you kind of want to leave him last, because you'll be put right back on the period with a full heal, unlike Aga 2.
Right, exactly. I mean, it's always better to try to save Aga 2, Aga 1 rather, till the very end, but it's not always...
It's not always possible, yeah.
Nice Red Cave, just a piece of heart. Don't know if Matt's going to go get that. I highly doubt it.
Yeah, she wisely jumping into the pots here. They have a secret fairy fountain. Good knowledge there.
Yeah, and one thing to note about the room that Gamachu is in the dark is that if you leave the room and come back in, if you've lost track of the Igor, it will reset itself.
Yeah, it looks like you already had the key, though, so that was just a top off for the trek up here.
Right, and I know once the enemies are dead, you don't have to re-kill them, but at least if you do lose the Igor, it's a way to get them back.
Back to the skate check, meanwhile. Doesn't look like there was anything of note. Oh, but the small key, so we're going to see Dark Cross.
And Matt gets his hook shot.
Nice clean setup there from Gamashu. And a little bit of a swag hookshot use there as well.
And, well, Gamachu strikes first for his team, getting the first of the dungeons complete. Eastern Palace is now off of his list, and he can move on to getting that glove and that lamp and sword and going up the mountain, potentially.
Shireen's trying to get all the goodies out of there. Actually, they don't know that Mini Moldorm has the goods here, but Shireen's about to find them. Yeah, right now Gamchu's is heading over to Kakarika to pick up what Shireen found there, which I believe was the book.
He'll be picking up his book and his lamp that he doesn't have. And will be soon heading to Mini Moldorm to get his sword and his glove.
Salty Fry, meanwhile, is going to be taking this route up here. It's just a very direct route to Eastern Palace. It's a nice little shortcut. And very useful if you lack the mirror, because you can take this route down to go directly to the portal, so you can flip over and go to Pod in that scenario.
Yeah, if they had Hammer and Moon Pearl absolutely could, get potted on this without a mirror.
Although let's be real, you want a mirror for pod because it makes the dungeon so much easier to route.
Oh, absolutely. Cuts the dungeon time in probably half or more. All right, so Matt's going to do his ring around the Armos tonight.
Nice quick kill there. No red Armos to be seen.
I'll have to see who heads up the mountain first from either team.
It's probably going to be Gamachu and Matt 7898 respectively, because they were the ones at Eastern first, so they have the hook shot.
Right.
Although Matt still needs to go get the power glove.
The hook shot does make Mini Moldorm Cave a lot easier and nicer to do, and that also that bottle gives us sick kit as well whenever we're back in Kakariko.
Yeah, so as we have a Titansmith access to Dark World, we'll be seeing that check pretty quickly. There was a shovel found at some point by Matt. I don't know where that was, but
I don't either. But it was only $20.
Oh, you know what? I think Matt might have done the big key chest.
Oh, is that what? Oh, okay, got it. Gamachu's going to do the back of escape, which we already pretty much know is nothing, but he does not. So he's going to get that information for his team.
Unfortunately, the bomb exploded just a little too far away.
That's always terrible. All right, now Gamachu looks like he's going to be heading up the mountain now, seeing what he gets there.
Using that hook shot a great advantage as well, getting what little distance he can with that extra speed from retracting the hook.
Yeah, it's real. The mobility with the hook shot is such an. It's just such a time saver. Boots, hook shot, and flute are your probably biggest mobility items that you can get.
Yeah, the hook shot doesn't work all the time, but when it does, it helps so much. It can save you a couple seconds each screen when you have the hook, the necessary what's what I'm thinking of? Targets to hook onto.
Yeah. So it looks like Matt is headed to Agina. I wonder if he'll go out of Agina to get into Desert or not.
I mean, it makes sense. Desert Ledge is in logic, and actually, so is the full dungeon.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, wait, no. I spoke too soon. We might be boots locked.
Yeah,
but there's Master Sword.
There's a Master Sword, so that's Aga 1 in logic now.
Yep, and it could be required.
Oh, it's required one way or another, because you need at least a Master Sword to kill Ganon, so we need at least one. Oh, there's the Pearl.
Yep, there's the Moon Pearl. I misspoke a little bit there. It could be required sooner rather than later, just to get our Dark World access.
Well, now we just need Hammer.
That was a medallion?
Oh, that was a medallion? Looked like Moon Pearl. But...
No, on Desert Ledge we saw a medallion.
Oh, sorry. Yes. Desert Ledge. Yes.
I couldn't tell if it was Quake or Ether, though, but it was definitely one of the coins.
All right, Gamachu's sending a bomb jump. Gets it. That's one of the harder ones to do.
Yeah, that is actually one of the tighter bomb jump windows to make. It's very exacting. All right, Boots Lock Desert?
Not yet.
Possibly.
Well,
it depends entirely on where the small key is.
Yeah, exactly.
And survey says, nope, not a Boots Lock Desert.
All right, well, now we have a lot of items in Paradox Cave. 2 on the bottom, 5 on top, 7 items here. Let's see if one of them gets us the hammer. There's Bombos and $20.
So we already know where 2 of the medallions are that we potentially need. So it could be either that we don't need neither of them or both of them.
Yeah, it would be interesting if both Mr. Mire and Her Rock were quick. Well, there's the cape, another bottle.
That one with a fairy in it, so free safety there.
Yeah, that's always nice. $20 and a heart container. Oh,
Safeguard no less. Second I pulled out a desert in the meantime, and it's just a normal little shield. But I will always like that shield because it blocks arrows, and I've been sniped by doing fake flippers to the hobo before.
Oh, me as well. I believe the first bottle was Mini Molar Cave, if I remember correctly.
Yes, and it was a green potion in it. None of the runners have checked sick yet, to my knowledge.
Yep. All right, so looks like so we have Spiral Cave here. Let's see what is done after Spiral Cave. But other than the Moon Pearl, not enough information. But looks like we might need to head to Aga sooner rather than later.
Yeah, we have the Quake Medallion at least, but we still have a few checks left that can be in logic. We have, for example, Zora, which is in logic because we have the glove. We can walk over there. We also have... Oh, actually, not much left.
Yeah, I think without fake flippering, I think it's just Zora now.
Well, in this scenario...
And Sick Kid.
Oh, yeah, Sick Kid too. In this scenario, in all honesty, I'd probably fake flipper.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, there's no reason not to unless you don't have the money for Zora. But other than that, there's no reason not to.
And I believe that Gamshu did find the cape, yes. So that gives us full access to Aghanim. We have the full puzzle. Master Sword, cape, lamp. Pretty much the entire go do Aga 1 early package.
Yeah, exactly.
Our tracker surprisingly the Mago will light that up in a moment here. Tracker does like eating inputs. I should know. I track their game 1.
Yeah, that's why I stay away from tracking, because I would have no patience for that. We have Professor Pixie and Lumaga 83 as our trackers this evening.
Yep, you can see their names on the screen too.
Yeah, they're in chat.
I actually didn't realize that they put the names on screen this year.
So let's see which of the teams will decide if they're going to fake flipper or they're going to Aga 1.
Well, last time Team Waffle House Drive-Thru decided to split up and decided to see if Aga 1 was required, while the other persons did checks to try to avoid it. And it ended up not working out for them, but at the same time, it could work out this time. But it's looking like they're actually doing that same play. It looks like Matt's going to be going up to fight Aga 1, while Salty Fry is going to keep looking and see if there is another route to take.
Oh, well, yeah. I mean, at this point, once he does Aghanim, he's just going to start his Dark World and start just moving right around the seed. As opposed to, and then Salty Fry will give us the answer if it was an Aga seed or not on his side. Whereas on the other side with Kamechu and Shireen, they're going to slowly run out of checks and have to potentially both be doing Aga 1 at the same time. So I actually like the split up here. To have one runner do Aga now and one runner not. This way, they can kind of open up more checks, plus start getting Dark World information.
Sure. Well, it looks like Skullkids is going to be doing that exact same thing. Shireen, without the Master Sword over Nagina escape, but I don't think neither... Yeah, no, Skullkids does not know it's there.
No, they do not know it's there.
So yeah, we'll have to wait until later for that, but Fire Sword is fine for the most part. in Dark World. It's just going to be very dangerous in terms of combat, but we avoid most combat in the Dark World anyway.
Right, exactly. I'm wondering if Gamachu is going to go get the Master Sword. Probably will as soon as he's done with Lamoas.
Using Cane of Burna to deal a lot of Fighter Sword hits right away. That is actually not a bad strat.
I had no idea Cane of Burna even did anything to Lamoas.
Yeah, Cane of Burna actually does deal damage. It does Fighter Sword, which is why most enemies that you come across are immune to it, but it does still do decent damage. It's one of the best ways to take out blind, actually, and that's part of the reason why I know this.
Oh, yeah, right.
Looks like Yam's just going to go back in and check the right side. This might either be a save quit afterwards or a leave through the east exit, which is a drop down.
My guess, yeah, he had it with the. He'll do. Since he didn't get the item, he will probably do a Gina, because you're not going to get a better shot at doing it than right now, and then probably do the save and quit, and maybe do the fake flippers. And it looks like Salty Fire is also in Castle Tower, so he has done the checks he wants and is going to be joining his teammate in the Dark World.
Yeah, Shireen using the Bombos medallion to kill the guards. It is the slowest animation of the 3 medallions, but it's guaranteed to insta-kill anything. I can't think of any regular enemy that's immune to it except for maybe Beamos, but those are technically traps.
Right. I think the Igors are immune to it.
Oh yeah, that would make sense because they can only be damaged by arrows, but
yeah,
that's about it. Any of the other forms of damage is outside of those is usually vulnerable to Bombos.
And Gamachu does get his Master Sword, so if he does not decide to do the fake flippers, he will have someone. Let's see. I'm surprised nobody checked Sick Kid and nobody did fake flipping. But again, without the money for Zora, it really is not a good idea.
No, but you would do fake flipper to check Hobo and the Waterfall, and that could have had the hammer, for instance.
Oh, it could have, but the problem would be is if you're then isolating Zora. So,
wait, can I just say something here? Can we just appreciate that Matt did the Agate 1 climb and the fight, and he's still at 3 hearts green mail?
He is. And didn't die going up Agate Tower. I think I would have. And just remember, folks, everything in the Dark World hurts a lot.
Yeah, I think Mattis can only be hit once.
Yeah, once, but I think... I don't remember how much these guys do. I think it's 2.
I think the Snapdragon enemies, the little perturbed-looking things, those things deal 4 hearts.
Yeah.
So, gotta be careful.
All right, we get a map check. We have Pendant Pod, Pendant Mire. 5-6 was at Ice, and I didn't see the other one.
And I just realized Matt doesn't have that much money, so he can't do Pod either. Oh, but Tempered Sword probably... Yeah, that's not bad.
3 heart Tempered Sword. Because why not?
And Salty Fry also defeating Aga 1. I just realized we haven't got a Dark World map check yet.
We did, and I believe it was Pendant Pod, Pendant Mire, and then 5-6 was at Ice. I didn't catch the other 5-6.
According to our trackers down below, it looks like it was on Swamp. We'll need a little bit more time to see the map for to confirm this.
Yeah, I'm sure either Gamachu or Shireen will be doing a map check. And that's the other thing about when it's co-op like this, you're only going to get 2 map checks instead of 4.
Yeah, so everyone's going to be doing Aghanim here, so it's a shame they could have put it off until later, but that's how it would go sometimes. That whole field is really nice, especially the magic in particular. Allows you to do some more riskier strategies, like using the cave to get through quick phase 2 quicker.
Yep, exactly. All right, Salty Fry heading into Pendant Pod. Where if you ask Leo, it's her favorite dungeon, especially when it's a pendant.
Shireen looks to be hoofing it over to the Village of Outcasts.
Oh, we got boots. Oh, that's interesting. So Pendant Pod has the boots.
And that immediately, I feel, gives Waffle House the advantage because boots, if the longer it takes Gamachu and Shireen to not go to pod, the bigger that advantage is going to get with those boots.
Yeah, absolutely.
So let's hope Gamachu decides to head over to pod while Shireen continues in West Dark World, rather. Almost got my directions mixed up there.
Yeah, I'm sure he will. He has the money. I'm sure he's gonna head over to pod. There would be absolutely no reason not to. You have one person on the west, one person on the east.
Gamachu isn't going to pick up the Temperate Sword he knows up by the Catfish. Probably going to hold off until later and be the one to route in the Zora scouting as a result. But knowing the sword is there means he can get it whenever he wants, really.
Yep.
And it looks like Gamachu is going to be going into pod, which means that Boots advantage is not going to be that big a deal. Because I'm pretty sure Shireen's going to probably bolt and go and get that as soon as possible.
Yeah, that's probably going to be he's going to be right behind, and I'm going to say that so will Matt. They'll probably go with this into the Dark World that way. But
Sorry, I just thought Shireen would also probably just as valuable for them to stick in the area on their route and then go get it later.
Right, you want to route it in. You don't want to just go over there for that unless you're going to clear it. He's going to see what else is there first and see if there's like other things that would help. Like if they find the hammer, then you make a boots over to Pendant Pod. But I don't know. I'm sure they have a pretty good idea of what they want to do. So,
yeah, but at this point, all runners know where the boots are.
Exactly.
Now, what would be most ideal for Shireen in particular, and by extension Matt, is to find the hammer on the route they're taking, and that way they can go straight through the shortcut path and over to pod after checking like High Cave or something.
Yeah, that would be good for them. But it looks like the boots might be the only thing in pod right now, at least.
To answer a question in chat, both of teams checked Lumberjack, but it was just a fast check, and I completely missed what it was. So
yeah, I had missed it too. We'll find out if it's important shortly, especially with the boots now. If anybody didn't check it, if it's important, they'll make a beeline for it.
And it looks like Salty Fry... No, it's not going there.
Well, we have a blue mail, though. That's always nice.
That must have been in the armory here. We're about to see it. Yeah. Yeah, depth warps in pod routing are quite common, especially when you do not have the mirror, because it just makes the routing that much more convenient, or in this case, a little inconvenient, but it's how it goes sometimes. Assault Fry, meanwhile, is going to pick up the Catfish Sword. That would be his Master Sword.
We'll see who... Well, we know that Salty Fry will eventually get the Tempered Sword from Agina. The question will be is who, if anyone, will miss it. I'm going to say probably not, since Shireen will know where the swords are once Catfish knowledge is there as well.
Wow, okay, gold sword on the Stumpy there.
Well then, that'll make the Ganon fight easier. He still has 3 hearts, mind you.
And there's magic powder as well. I believe someone else is in pod. They must have picked it up by now.
So it was just powder and boots that were actually memorable items.
Yeah, I'm not sure if Salty Fry picked that up or not. I would assume so.
Yeah, I'm going to assume so as well. All right, let's see what is in Hype Cave today. Probably nothing exciting. Well, starting off with $20, that's not really exciting. Oh, Mire's exciting.
There's the mirror. And unfortunately for Matt, another heart container. I think he wanted to stay at 3 hearts as long as possible.
Yeah, right? That's really low percent in the game.
Matt is going to reroute here as well, going over to check the KSW Grove, otherwise known as K45.
I'm surprised he didn't do Bombo's tablet while he was close to it. I mean, he could still route it in with Swamp, but I'm surprised he didn't grab it. Boots were in pod.
Yeah, and unfortunately, I don't think Swamp is in the cards. There's the other mail upgrade, so we both know where red mail is collectively. But yeah, Swamp definitely not on Matt's mind because, well, for one thing, we're lacking a key item in order to get to even the first couple of checks.
Yep, the flippers.
Well, also the hammer, but that also is a bit of a detriment there.
Right, but without flippers, you can't even get into the dungeon, so it's kind of a moot point.
Exactly. Still, Bombos is still available, and it looks like that is going to be checking it. Shireen, meanwhile, rescuing the maiden, we're about to fight a blind.
Mire was in Hype Cave. And there's your money for Zora, though.
Alright, looks like we did get a confirmed crystal yet. It looks like it is pod with Mr. Mire as our green pendant. 5/6 at Ice Palace, and looks to be Skull Woods, I'm seeing, maybe?
That sounds right to me. And down goes blind. So the $1 million question starts becoming is, where's the hammer going to find its ugly head?
That is actually a good question.
We know Thieves. It's not in. We know it's not in Thieves Town. So I mean, the things we know so far, it's not in Thieves Town. It's not in Pod. It's not in Eastern or Desert.
I would say Hera, because we have the mirror.
It could be Hera now. Yeah, we now have access to Hera. And it looks like Matt is heading up that way. He's also going to check the ether tablet. And there's just more money. So now he has lots of Zora money. Going to be interested to see what version of Hera Pot Matt decides to do.
I'm not sure if Matt has the boots or not, but
well, he has hook shot, so he could do the Philly Pod or another version of Hera Pot with that.
Team Skull Kid's now realizing the skull kit, the stumpy sword. Looks like we're just doing a traditional bond jump setup to get up into the Hera Pot. Basically, this pod clip lets you jump down into a secret fairy fountain that you normally have to go all the way to the top, and the war panel takes you to the top 4. Very nicely done.
Yeah. Oh, there's Mitts. Okay, well that opens up a lot as well.
We better hope that the second item is on the boss, because I believe there was a compass in the basement.
There was.
Which means we are dealing with very likely a vanilla big key. Actually, no, we know we're dealing with vanilla big key.
Yep. The question is the boss have the second item or not? Hopefully he does.
Well, the mirror won't make it too much of an issue to go get it, but let's hope.
And it is. So that's all. No harm. So that's good. So we have both items out of Hera, but the most important one is that mitts.
Yeah, the mitts open up. Actually, the mitts don't do much for us that we can't already do.
Well, it opens up ice. No, it doesn't. Yes, it opens up ice with bombos. It opens up the
It opens up ice if we do.
It opens up Smith chain. So it opens up quite a bit. Not as much as obviously the hammer does, but it opens up quite a bit. Plus, it also opens up Dark Death Mountain.
Yeah, it does open up Dark Death Mountain. It opens up the Smith chain. I'm not going to count Ice Palace because that's technically a logic break.
Right.
Right. The only other thing it opens up is King's Tomb, but we already had access to that with the mirror. Speaking of King's Tomb, we're about to go see what's in there. Just some ammunition.
And just 10 arrows. GFE saying he doesn't like to break logic with Ice Palace unless he has Cane of Samaria. That is a good point, because it makes the dungeon so much nicer.
I will not argue that point. I have been trying to practice that in my off time. It's definitely something I'm still learning, but at the same time, I can understand why people want to do the icebreaker more than doing the Ice Palace ball jump.
I have learned it, and it's one of the nicest things I have learned, I will tell you.
Yeah, I've more or less learned it. I just forget the inputs from time to time and have to relook it up.
Alright, nothing in the Super Bunny Cave. Let's see what medallion is required for Turtle Rock.
Is it Ether or is it one of the two we own? The answer is Ether.
Ether. We do not own it. So it's the 33% chance we did not have it.
Ooh, and there's arrows on the floating island. And I just realized, if Misery Mire is Ether, or not Ether, to enter, we could have Ether on the pedestal.
Oh, that would be. Oh, there's some Aria, right on the doorstep of Tara.
Yep. No,
Because
so
it's always the case.
okay, now I'd probably go into there. Oh,
and
there's.
flute. Wow, loaded hookshot cave. My goodness.
Hey, do you want to go to do Misery Mire? Because we can go do Misery Mire.
Yeah, we can. Well, assuming it's not either, we can.
Yeah, one of the other quirks here of doing Aga 1 is that we have to do a save put to get off the pyramid in the Dark World. Or rather, we save put onto the pyramid in the Dark World. Another thing that's a little bit irksome at times is the right word, I think. The enemies in the overworld change to just generally be harder. You'll see guards in Kakariko. You'll see a lot of aggressive guards over the Eastern Palace region.
Oh, I agree. I mean, I despise doing Aga as much as possible.
Oh,
but
yeah,
we still haven't seen a sick kid check from my perspective. I don't think.
I don't think we've seen a sick kid either, but this will be an ideal time to go do it with Matt turning on the flute.
What would be really, really sad is if the hammer is just sitting on sick kid the whole time.
Wait, give me that bottle of medicine so I can break it.
Yeah, exactly. Oh goodness. Or he's not. That's okay too. He's not gonna check. He's just making a liar out of me.
I have a feeling that not checking sick kid is going to come back and fight both teams at this point. What is the medallion required for Misery Mire? Oh, we're not going to see it just yet.
No, we're going to see the shack first. Nothing in Mire shack. Shed.
Yeah, nothing of importance anyway. Medallion for Mire is Quake.
Oh, that means it's full clearable.
Which means we are a hammer away from pedestal being available.
Yep.
Oh, this is a spicy pet too, I come to realize. Both rods are on the table, the flippers are on the table. Ether's on the table. Silver's potentially, which not really necessary, but that would be nice to have.
Yeah. I made it my business during the mentor tournament to learn Icebreaker. All right, Mire, what do you got for us?
Like, come on, it's here.
Has Matt still not been into Pod yet? That he does not have the boots? Or is he just not using them?
I don't think Matt has been into Pod, no. And I don't think either of our bottom runners have been to Desert either, which is where the Quake Medallion is, and they need that in order to get into Misery Mire, as we now know.
Yeah. Yeah, but that medallion isn't quite as important as having the boots for as long as he hasn't had them. Because both Gamashu and Shireen do have the boots, so it's just a longer and longer time that Matt is not that he's walking everywhere.
And Sick Kid has finally been checked, and it's only 20 rupees.
Oh, sorry, Sick Kid. Oh, there's the big key. We have not seen Zora, no.
No, we haven't seen the entire Zor region, except for Catfish. And that could be there. We don't have the flippers to do Waterfall Cave, but we can easily sequence break that with fake flippers.
Yeah, we can. What could be kind of nasty is if Zora had the flippers or the hammer.
Vanilla flippers on Zora would be hilarious. Terrible, but hilarious.
It would be absolutely terrible and hilarious at the same time.
Matt gonna go ahead and check the cutscene chest.
Just a heart piece on the Smith.
I don't expect any of our top 2 runners to have issues with Biddy because they both have gold sword, so
yeah,
they have easy time.
Problems with gold sword with Biddy.
Purple chest and powder turn coming up here on Salty Fry.
Is this going to be something interesting? Let's see what's on the powder.
Yeah, it's probably only going to be a red rupee.
Probably. There's a lot of them in the game.
Yeah, 28 in fact.
Oh, there's... Wow! There's the hammer locked behind the... Well, there you go. Oh my gosh.
Would you believe I said 20 rupees in jest and I wanted it to be something good?
Oh, you get that one, buddy. Now the only question is how long is it going to take Gamachu and Shireen to get over there and get that?
And yeah, Shadow's pointing out, that is a required double dip of pod to get the hammer.
Yep, absolutely.
Well, actually, it may not be still. Matt does have the Cadence of Mario. If we find the mushroom, he can do the fake powder and skip getting the powder.
He could.
But that relies on him finding the mushroom, which could be anywhere for all we know.
Right, that's the problem. Well, the only place the mushroom can't be is Ped. Well, no, I guess it can be. Never mind.
Yeah, mushroom can absolutely be a pet, especially if there's nothing behind it.
Right.
So I think Matt has to bite the bullet here and actually double dip pod. He didn't want to, but he has no choice.
Right, exactly. Now Matt has an even more reason to get over to do that stuff. He has the mirror, but he has to get over to Pod to get his powder, to get his hammer.
Thankfully, it won't be that big of an issue because Matt not only has the mirror, he has the flute, so he can flute to 5, go to Pod, mirror, flute to. Oh, actually, no, it is kind of bad because he can't save the portal.
Right, he can't save the portal.
But he does at least have the fast travel to mitigate most of the time spent to go over there and back.
All right, so Gamachu is finishing up Mire, which will send. I'm going to assume and get a green pendant check out of all that.
Yeah, and that would be probably why I think Matt is finishing this dungeon despite knowing where the hammer is. I mean, it makes no sense to leave a dungeon you have to clear regardless of the
Exactly.
But yeah, with the gold sword, this is going to be pretty slick because these eyeballs only take like 3 spin attacks. And then 8 arrows to the eyeball, and Biddy is down.
It's so nice to watch Biddy go down like that.
And a return on the investment, too. Arrows being on the boss. And there's Ether.
There's Ether.
So that is something that Gamachu and Shireen are definitely going to pick up. Matt might be beeline to that hammer, though. No, he's going to take a moment to go get the Dark Frost, or the Checkerboard Cave chest, which is smart. So this actually puts us in an interesting predicament, actually. We need the flippers still, and then if we find the flippers first, it's a Rod Go mode.
Which is
Rod?
So weird.
Yeah, and which Rod doesn't matter. We need both.
We need both.
Very clean execution there on Shireen getting through that resort room. And wait a minute. Hello, King dropping a heart container. Oh, Raina, why you gotta be like this sometimes?
Alright, so let's see who goes where next. It looks like Gamanchu is gonna turn in that green pendant, see what it is. Those red guards move really fast.
Yeah, and they aggro on you almost immediately. It is just a bottle with a red potion in it.
Yeah.
A nice safety to have at least, but not required.
No, not when you have other bottles already.
And we're getting our first look at the waterfall checks via fake flippers. It says to leave the cave, and the moon pearl will magically make you walk, so you can open the chests. Let's see what we got. 10 arrows and the ice rod.
And the ice rod. One of the 2 rods we need.
And the waterfall fairy gives you a blue potion, so freebie right there for Salty Fry.
That's nice. Oh, Salty Fry's not going to Zora. Interesting. Doing Ice Palace instead. I think I would have checked Zora first, but that's just me.
Well, it's Fire Rod and Flippers for Go mode now for Team Waffle House Drive-Thru. Shireen and Gamanchu of Skull Kid still needs to have information on the hammer, but Gamanchu's about to find it. First item found in Ice Palace is only money. And this is actually really good timing on Skullkid's part, because Shireen's going to get that information from the hammer and then immediately finish this dungeon and go get it.
Yeah. And that's the nice thing about having the shared thing, that you can do that. Get information and just you beat the game much faster that way. Alright, so we're gonna take the purple chest on for a little bit of a ride.
And here we go with the iceberg technique. Very specific motions there. Using the pause bumper to set up the hammer while doing it. Very nice. And we're checking hammer pegs now. I don't think we saw this, or maybe we did. It's only a hard piece regardless.
But at least they did not go into Ice Palace without the hammer. That is never a good choice. But if it's there, it's just kind of gross.
I would say the advantage right now, it's kind of hard to tell. In terms of averages, Gamanchu and Shireen have a much tighter average right now. I'll look at, with Max flipping behind just a little bit, having put off pod. But in terms of items, Waffle House has the slight advantage in knowing where the ice rod is.
Yeah. And one of our trackers being a really good point. Flippers can now be in Turtle Rock, but they cannot be on Trinex because the ice rod is behind the flippers. In front of behind the flippers.
You know, it could be worse. Fire Rod could be all the way on the laser bridge.
Oh, it certainly could. That would be even grosser. We haven't had a seed like that in a while.
Yeah, it's rare. It's definitely a rare occurrence because the key logic has to be just exactly correct in order to let you down as far as it can. But it can happen.
And most certainly. Actually, even with certain key logic, it can actually be a mimic cave just as easily. It just depends on what the first couple chests have.
Yeah, it specifically has to be a small key in the change room and another small key in the one chest that is not fire unlocked in the opening lobby area.
Exactly. Yep.
That is the only way. Well, also a vanilla big key to go even deeper. But that's the only way that you can have a key left that lets you have a fire on a laser bridge.
Yep. And what's really interesting as well is that because Salty Fry did not have the hammer his first time into Thieves Town, we're going to find out if there's anything important in that big chest.
That is true. Ah, interesting note, little wrinkle there. Coldseer defeated and had a small key. That, by logic, means that this dungeon was Samaria locked to basically solve the puzzle that is normally in this place. Intended way, anyway. We most usually skip it, though.
Yeah.
But because the seeds are all built based on the fact you don't need to know any sort of tricks or knowledge of glitches is at all, that assumes the intended way. And that as a result, small key there means you can't do the puzzle. There's no way that key would be used to open up the crystal switch door just above the boss room.
Right, exactly. Yeah, so let's see. The question was going to be, is there anything in this chest? It is a heart container, so no harm, no foul.
Yeah, it's a little bit of less help, but that's not a big deal.
Not with these runners, no. Especially they have red mail.
Well, they don't have red mail. They both have blue mail, but they know where red mail is collectively.
Right, they know where red mail is, exactly.
But yeah, in case you guys missed it, Skull Kids does have blue mail, but they each picked up one of the progressive armor, so they have a different blue mail than the other one.
Yep. So if they decide to get red mail, they can. And down goes blind.
We are running out of checks here.
I'm really thinking Turtle Rock is going to be our answer for our flippers.
Oh, wait a minute. Hang on a moment. Pet alert, pet alert. We have 3 pendants on Shireen's side.
Oh, is he going to? He better blind pull. Don't read it. Just blind pull. Make chat really happy.
I'm going to read it. 10 shots, it's arrows.
Nah, that's no fun. You gotta just pull it, man. I know you save a lot more time, but meh.
I mean, why watch a 15-second cutscene if you don't have to?
To make chat happy, I guess. It's always nice, right? Isn't that the goal in Rando, to make chat happy?
I guess, in some ways.
Alright, let's do it. I'm going to assume now. Oh, we are going to do Spike Gate first.
Yeah, Kate and Kate both put this in logic. Meanwhile, it looks like Gavin's just going to go finish off Odd.
So
It's got to be Turtle Rock. I can't think of any other place.
Now, yeah.
There's no other place that's in logic other than Zora.
Other than Zora. And that's the gross part of this whole thing. Is it Zora? We still don't know.
Looks like Matt might be checking.
Well, Matt gets his ice rod.
Trini's just going straight into ice.
Yes, this is definitely a Zora check for sure.
All right, moment of truth. It's the fire rod here.
Zora
Oh, it's not.
Which is $20.
All right, now let's see vanilla flippers. Come on.
Vanilla flippers or fire rod? Or $20. That works too.
All right, that settles it. It's got to be TR.
Yep. Yeah, I think that's kind of all we have left now.
Now the question is the key outlet going to let them deep in, or are they just going to give the item and say, hey, just come back later, okay?
I know what chat wants. I know chat wants to see fire rod on Laser Bridge.
I'm going to be honest, I also want to see it, but because it's just a rarity that it's just extraordinary to see. I don't want it for the troll, I want it for the rarity, if that makes any sense.
No, I'm with you, man.
One of our trackers, being especially evil, wants to see flips on Laser Bridge, fire rod on Argus. That's definitely evil. I don't want to see that.
Really evil.
I want our runners to have a good time with the seat.
Oh, and Salty Fry is blind pulling the pad for 10 arrows. Yay! We love Salty Fry. All right, so it looks to me now like Matt is going to head to Turtle Rock, where we're gonna more than likely get our answer one way or another.
Yeah. We're gonna see what we got here. It's more likely than not that it's gonna be an early item that just says, hey, go check the other dungeon now.
Right, but what other dungeon do we have? I mean, it would have to be fire rod with flippers on in Skull Woods. I think it has to be Turtle Rock at this point.
It could also be flippers early in Turtle Rock with the fire rod in Swamp.
It could be.
Either way, if we don't see a key in the first couple of checks, then we're gonna get the item regardless.
Yep.
About the only thing that it could be that it wouldn't be directly visible is the mushroom.
Right, that would, but and that's our last fetch quest too. So yeah, that would pretty much do it too.
Yeah, it was just delay it by a step. That's all there was to it.
Right.
So we're gonna see the item regardless here.
Yep, because there's nothing else that we could check. All right, so here we have it. Turtle Rock. And
I really hope I'm not forgetting something. I just realized.
I mean, let's see. Oh, there's a key. We're to at least go a little further.
If Chain Chop is not a small key, and that means we have to we got the item. But if it is a small key and the big key is vanilla, oh boy, that's a can of worms that we just opened.
Yep. We have checked both tablets, yes. This is a very potential painful part with Chain Chomps here.
Yeah, one touch can kill Gambit. There they are.
Flippers. So that gets us to our swamp and our ice rod, and all good things are back to normal.
And also, more importantly, it means that the Turtle Rock is Fire Rod locked, which means Fire Rod is most assuredly our go mode now.
Yep.
And we know it's not in there. Which means it's only can be in Swamp.
Yep. I think we have I think that's gonna it's got to be in Swamp Palace or mushrooms in Swamp Palace to get us there.
Yeah, it can't be on the back of Skullwoods. It can't.
Nope.
As by extension, it cannot be on the Super Air Bomb. So
Right.
yeah, we are by all accounts in kind of a no-mode situation here. Even though we haven't seen the item yet, it's out of checks. It has to be on this route.
Yep, exactly. So, and the fact that Matt has made a beeline for Swamp Palace, he knows that that's where it has to be.
Yeah, Shireen's also on the beeline here as well.
And I just realized Matt still does not have the hammer. So he needs to go. Wait, he has to have the hammer, doesn't he?
Yeah, he has the hammer.
I was going to say, wait, it's just an input. Okay. I was going to say, I would hope he would not be in here without the hammer. That would be bad.
I mean, he was in Turtle Rock to pick up the flippers first.
Right,
so.
right, yes. Those trackers, they
Oh, wait a
love
minute. Did we not check Hobo? I just missed what it was, but it looks like it wasn't the fire red, so it doesn't really matter.
Oh, we forgot about Hobo. Well, it wasn't the fire rats, so there we go. I think we need to invest in new tracker software stuff so that it stops eating the inputs of our poor trackers. They work so hard to keep everything normal in the seeds, and the tracker input's like, nope, we're just gonna eat it up alive.
I think it'll ease up a bit when we go into next week, what is next week, actually?
Next week is Fad Keys, where all the keys, maps, and compasses are shuffled other than Castle Tower. And I believe it's also all dungeons. But they call it Fad Keys.
Interesting name for that, but
It is interesting.
That's going to be an interesting seed as well. It's just Key Sandy, except Castle Tower is consistently Castle Tower.
Yeah, it's to make it a little fairer, I think, and then week 3 is Kaz Boots.
Yeah, no one likes hunting down Castle Tower keys. Let's be honest.
Nope. And it's also 2 runners. It's not shared information, so you can't.
There's go mode.
There's go mode. Yep.
Yeah, and it's only going to be 1 team member from each team. It's not going to be co-op like last week.
Yep.
Now, I actually have my notes. I'm a little bit of scouting ahead for week 2 here. It looks like Skull Kids will fight Team Swirly Coin Brewing, and Waffle House Drive Thru will fight Mogalaki. I hope I pronounced that team name right.
I will go with that, my friend, because I don't know.
Well, they're all in the Kakariko division, so
yeah.
We'll see them next week fighting each other.
Question in chat: Gamma did pod? I don't know. That's a good question. Did Gamma do pod?
Yes, because he had them because he was the first one up of our 4 that had the 3 pendants.
Right.
Oh no! Wait, Gambashu? Oh, wait, no, that was Sharia I was talking about. Hang on. I actually don't remember.
Fear Agent saying he did do pod. Okay. Awesome.
Okay. Yeah, I missed that. Thank you, chat, for keeping us honest up here.
That is their job.
So it looks like Waffle House Drive-Thru is going to be in go mode here. This is still a very close race. This can be anyone's game here. In terms of dungeons, though, it is a very different story here. Waffle House Drive-Thru may be in go mode, but Matt has to clear a total of 6 dungeons. Unless if that tracker's been updated correctly. Salty Fry still has to clear. Actually, no, he's done Swamp. So 5 dungeons at least for Matt. Salty Fry still has to do 3 more. And Gavin and Shireen both are on 3 with Swamp House almost done for Shireen and about to find the Fire Rod.
We'd like to welcome our SpeedGaming 6 Raiders. Welcome to this League Week 1 matchup between Skull Kids and Wolf's House Drive-Thru.
Did Salty Fry and Matt never do Desert, even though they got Quake? That's interesting.
That is interesting. Well, we'll find out here because... Oh, looks like he's doing it now.
Yep, another crystal on the board here. I want to say Matt did clear Swamp, so yeah, he has the Fire Rod, so that makes sense.
Yep, now we're just going to start seeing bosses kind of fall pretty quickly.
Yeah, in terms of dungeon clears, though, it is a little too close to call, but I would say the advantage is slightly in Skull Kid's favor.
Yeah, definitely ever so slightly. And the thing is that nobody could get into GT early, so it's going to be the Turtle Rock finish into GT for all of our runners.
Yeah, and directly into the fight with Ganon as well, because we've already defeated Ag of 1.
Right, exactly. So no free health health restore before Ganon.
But our runners are now in Goma. Shireen now heading over to Skull Woods to wrap up. Yamchu also heading up. That is wrapping up Swamp. We'll be heading to Skull Woods as well. And Salty Fry still needs to go do Skull Woods himself. And more importantly, Matt, I don't think has done Ice Palace yet and still has to go do that as well. So there is a little bit of a time sink there. At least a good couple of minutes.
Yeah, but Go Mode Ice and the rest of Pod is not that. It's not really too terrible.
No, it's really not, but it's still more. It's definitely going to be a little bit of a time sink.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Like I can see this team alternating between who finishes first and who finishes second.
Yep.
Between them.
Yep.
Which would result in the average time being better on one side by default. I can't possibly see this coming down to decision via averages.
Well, we will have to wait and see.
Yeah, anything could happen in the last little bit. A Ganon fall, a Troll Worm fall. There could be
Troll Worm falls are always the worst.
So yeah, there's a lot of possibilities still left on the table. A lot of RNG to get through. But the seed is more or less solved at this point. It's just a matter of executing.
Yep, so we'll have to find out which team is now better at execution from where we are now. And down goes Mothula.
I would say all 4 team members are good at execution in their own rights. So it'll just come down to it. Alright, Crystal now for Shireen. That will be number 6, and we're heading over to Turtle Rock for number 7.
Yep. Quick flute.
Yeah, at this point, we can say that Shireen specifically is in the lead amongst all 4 of our runners. Salty Fry hot on their tails, with Garochu falling right behind. Matt is bringing up the rear in terms of finishing the seed.
Yep. It's gonna be like kind of a backward Z or an N, if you'd like to put it that way. starting with Shireen, going to Salty, then Gamma, then Matt. But again, there's a lot of rando that still has to happen, so nobody's done anything until they hit that dot done.
Yeah, it's not over till the dot done.
Nice. Wow.
I still haven't learned that, but that's still.
I haven't learned that either.
I kind of have just adapted to just knowing how to skate on the ice with a sword.
All right, now Shireen is back into rock for real this time. After getting his flippers and then being locked out.
So they find the way to Turtle Rock, get you on them off. And Matt has defeated Cold Stare. Hopefully he's defeated Pod. I'm not sure if he has or not, actually.
We'll wait and see. I'm going to assume he has, but I am not sure. We'll see where he goes next. If he goes to the mountain, then we know he has already done Turtle Rock. Pod. If he goes to,
he is not. He is not. I just saw his tracker. He does not. He's missing a pendant.
Yep. Okay. So then he's definitely further behind then. Gamma also heading to TR.
Execution could still put Salty Fry ahead here.
Yep.
And that could matter a bit to try to get the average, but Matt's being behind as he is may be a detriment if that's the case.
Well, he knows where everything is in Pod, so it's just a matter of getting through it as fast as he can. And then his teammate will have gotten into GT first, so he'll know exactly where to go as far as opening up chests, and so he can avoid opening up chests and possibly catch up doing it that way. So it's going to be close.
Yeah, it's too soon to call, obviously. But it's definitely not looking good for Waffle House to try to get a win here, get some points. But they're not out of the tournament regardless.
Oh, no.
They've still got a whole 6 weeks of this to come. They could definitely just take a couple L's in the first week and just be dominant the rest. Alright, Shireen now hitting with the Trinex. Little low in magic, but there is a full heal. There's a full magic decanter in this room. One head down, Trinex.
And down goes second head.
Pretty good position for Trinex to stop in the room. Pretty likely to get a double spin here. And then a slash to wrap things up. Not quite. Didn't bounce it at the good angle to get that double spin.
And I don't know if the bot is working this week or not, but if you guys would like to put a number in chat between 1 and 22 where that big key is, I would do it as fast as possible because it does not take Shireen a long time to get to it. So my fellow co-commentator, where do you think it's going to be?
That's actually a good question. Let's put it a little bit in the middle. Let's say 8.
All right, I'm gonna go with 6. I always go with 6. So we'll see what it is. And I think Salty Fry and Gamachu are like a room apart right now. 2 rooms apart.
So we have a petition going on here on Twitch chat side. Just guess if it's odd or even. It points in and see if you guys get it right there.
All right, well, here we go. Yeah, Shireen is heading to the left, and check 1 is a heart piece. All right.
Nice 0 cycle there on Gamashu's end.
2 is a small key. 3, $20. Other side. 4 is a map. 5 is bombs. He's doing Dark Magician.
And there's that double spin.
Simultaneous Trinex kills.
That ties it up. And yeah, that was the double spin right there on both sides, I think. And I was looking away, but I didn't see what it was. But it looks like we have 4 small keys.
Yep.
And no big key. So we're on check number 8 now.
Yep. Salty Fry and Gamachu are going to enter GT at the exact same time.
Nice punch with the Ganon Samaria there, just knocking that block right into position. Number 8 is a small key. Number 9, number 10, and there is the big key at number 11.
So did anyone get number 11?
Well, for those watching in the predictions on Twitch, that means odd wins.
It was an odd, but
yeah, it was 11. It was chest 11.
no, it was. As I said, it wasn't odd. I was just looking to see if anyone got the 11.
Fair enough.
All right.
Now, I'm going to be completely honest with you. I knew the big key is in the moment that small key got pulled, because it's just some weird logic quirk that if a small key is there, so the big key is also there.
All right, so we're going to go with D Demolisher. We're going to go with Prices Right rules. He was the first one to enter number 9 and not go over. Oh, no, I apologize. Lumaga was the first one to get into that number 9 as our tracker. He gets our win today. He did not go over. Do Prices Right rules. And because and what's really interesting about the route is that because Shireen was in first, Gamachu saves all the time of not looking for the big key, and is already going up the tower. Boy, Salty Fry and Gamachu are like right neck and neck with each other. This is such a amazing thing to see.
Yeah, now the question is, where are our silver arrows been?
Well, we will find out. Ganon will tell us where they are, or were in this case.
I'm going to say the left side swamp, because no one obviously did it.
Well, it's either left side swamp or somewhere in GT.
Yeah, that's the only other place it could be, obviously.
Nice. Nice, Shireen. Making the land molars just like fall like butter. And you could also, you're also watching as Gamachu goes up into the gauntlet, how much the cleaner execution is just vastly different from Salty Fry. Not to say Salty Fry is not a great player, but it's just, you can see the difference. Like one mistake makes. because now he's 2 or 3 rooms ahead.
Yeah, that's what it comes down to in an execution race, is just little bitty mistakes that add up to just extra seconds that give you that little edge. Checking the top for GG, just checking the first chest there for the silvers. Sure, you're gonna go ahead and spend a couple seconds to do this to ensure that we have the silver arrows on the game.
I don't blame them for doing that, but just I guess the question is if they want to. All right, is it invalidation chest?
I haven't heard that called that in a while. I just call it Molder chest these days.
Oh. Nope, just 10 more sticks to add to our collection. So it looks like all of our runners will be doing silverless Ganon today.
I mean, it could be the other chest, but then again, with Tempered Sword and Gold Swords, respectively, there's really no need.
Hey, if you like what you're seeing, guys, in chat, give our runners a follow. They have put on an amazing show here this evening for us all. A lot of entertainment here. So give our runners a follow. They would appreciate it.
Oh, not a great position there for Shireen. This is a cycle of Aga 2.
All right, down goes Aga 2 for Shireen. He's going to be heading into the Ganon fight at 1:26:55 approximately. A couple of seconds falling off the screen. And then Ganon not far behind.
I wonder if that's something you relay to your partners, the position of Aga and the
Oh, I'm
ball.
sure, yeah. Because if you can say, hey, he's X, Y, and Z fast enough, then sure.
It's just a random thought that crossed my mind, is that would be a way to speed up the fights a little bit.
Yeah.
Anyway, here we go with the Ganon fight. It is 12 slashes or 6 spins with the Tempered Sword to get through the first 2 phases. That's each phase, by the way. Looking to be in a good spot here for phase 2, just in the corner. Going to be perfectly safe from these fire bats and the fire ring. Easy cycle there. And then we have the third phase, which is him going to be teleporting randomly. These are seated like Aghanim's teleports are these days. I believe there was at one point that was weren't, but I could be wrong. I started the randomizer after that change.
I did as well, so I don't know. And there's people in here who, in our chat, probably could answer that question for us.
Probably, yeah. But anyway, it's time for Space Sword, the silverless technique. They're in Ganon's Tower, so either that one chest and no one checked at the top 4, or they were in the center area.
Yeah, there's still a lot of checks on the bottom that we didn't check, so...
Yeah, we can see the torch mission play. Left torch lit too fast, so the right torch never goes out. And you can see just a little inkling of when Ganon raises his arms during a teleport. You might not see it completely every single time, but when he does that, that is when he is vulnerable to the silverless strats, in which you get a spin attack in. 12 spin attacks with the Tempered Sword, and it's GG.
Yep. And if you do the fire rod shot in the right spot, you can get triples out of it too.
Yeah. Gold Sword doesn't matter in terms of spins, but for the first 2 phases, you can use six slashes, which is a minor time save.
All right, now Shireen, all he has to do is cross this 1x3, and he'll be the first of our 4 runners to complete this, and Ganon is right on his tail.
Yeah, and also note, you can use slashes to hit Ganon, but spin attacks have a much longer hitbox duration, which makes it easier. But yeah, and there we go. Skull Kids are going to wrap this up. 1-2. Get your GGs in chat for both of them. And they crossed the finish line. Let me get those finish times for you. We have a finish time for Shireen at 1:29:22. We have Ganshu at 1:29:41. That is only like a 20-second difference. That's pretty clear cut. That is going to be definitively a 1:29:30 average for them. They're Salty Fry finishing up. GG's to Waffle House drive-thru as well.
Yeah, 19 seconds in between them. That is just insane. That's just insane. And so they win their first two, so they get 6 points, I believe, for 3 points for each win. So, yeah, get your GGs in chat for Salty Fry, Shireen, and Gamer2. And Matt's not far behind. He'll be up there shortly. He's just has to do Troll Dorm and Aga2, and then Ganon.
Yeah, this was a great seed. Let's see if we can get the runners up here for an interview, shall we?
I'm sure we can. I'm sure that'll be something that we'll have to see if they want to join us, but we just need to wait for Matt to finish.
That is true.
Because I believe that's how it works in the league. Is that everybody? Well, unless one team is vastly far behind, but now that he's in Aga2.
Yeah, we can wait a little bit, I think, for the interviews.
Yeah.
So yeah, while we are waiting, I can, like I said, we have week 2 with the Fad Keys settings. Skull Kids with their 6-0 are going to go ahead and go and fight Team Swirly Coin Brewing in week 2 here in the Kakariko division. And going forward, and Team Skull Kids will be fighting against Team Mogilaki. I hope I pronounced that right once again.
I wouldn't. I'm not even gonna. Yeah, that sounds right to me.
Of course, this is just the initial bracket, so both these teams are most assuredly still in it. They're not going to be knocked out just yet. We've still got another 5 or 6 weeks left of this Swiss format.
There's 7 weeks of league, so it's quite a bit of time left.
Yeah, and each week we're going to be having a different rule set as well. So this week was co-op Infill Share All Dungeons. Next week it's All Dungeons Fad Keys, which is just Key Sanity, but Castle Tower keeps its keys where they're supposed to be.
And then I believe week 3 is Cad's Boots, as Matt is wrapping up Ganon. Week 4 is Spoiler Logs, I believe.
I believe that is yes.
And then week 5 is Cross Keys. Week 6 is Open. And week 7 is, I believe, All Dungeons Randomizer Key Sanity with InfoShare.
Ooh. So adding the enemy just shuffle to the mix, that's going to be interesting.
Yep. All right, so Matt's starting his 12 spins.
Yeah, very strong showing from both teams tonight as well.
Professor Pixie correcting me. Week 7 is not Key Sanity, it's just Randomizer. Yeah,
that makes it a little bit nicer, honestly. That seems like a really crazy last week if it was Key Sanity. Oh, I missed what the mushroom turn-in was.
All right,
well, we'll probably see it later.
Down goes Ganon for Matt. He'll be crossing the finish line shortly. Get your GGs in chat.
Yes, as we are now joined by, I believe it is Shireen and someone else. I don't know. I'm just looking. But anyway.
Shireen, Gamer2. So he finished with an official time of 1:33:53. And so, yeah. We're just. So it looks like we should be joined here by Gamer2 and Shireen here shortly. And they have entered the commentator's booth with us. GGs to both of you.
GGs.
Yeah, GGs.
Yeah, this was a really great race to watch.
And we're also joined by Matt as well.
And Salty Fry.
Salty Fry. GGs to you guys as well.
GG, guys.
GGs. GGs.
So this was definitely a seed that was definitely all over the place in terms of routing.
Yeah, I guess with the hammer being where it was, and then the flippers being up in Turtle Rock, yeah, it was kind of inevitable that you probably last location or come close to last location in a couple of those items.
100%. I'm really curious, Matt and Salty. Did the first one that Agad? Did you go hookshot over? Or did you go pod first?
I was the first one, and I didn't have enough money for pod, so I hookshot it over, which was unfortunate because obviously the boots were in pod, and then I kind of delayed going to pod because I was like, oh, I can maybe find the hammer, but it was hard locked by the boots, which was kind of brutal.
Yeah. Yeah, that we kind of were thinking about it for a while. Like, Shireen was the first one that went into Aga and cleared it, and we were kind of wondering, should you go do pod right now? Because I was already heading to Aga, and we were just been following each other's footsteps after you did pod. But I don't know. It was a hard decision for us. We had the money.
I would have gone to pod if I had the money.
Yeah.
It's a tough decision. Like, we were talking about it, and I was about 2.5 minutes ahead or something. And it's like, if I go to pod, like, yeah, I have the bow and the lamp and the logic is all good. But if pod's empty, then me and Gamma are synced up when he finishes Aga 1. And then we're both hookshotting over, and that can get very nasty quick. So we kind of took the play that kind of gave us a little bit more consistency, even though there was some risk there. And, we also got burned by that a little bit. But luckily, I at least grabbed the powder when I got the boots, because it's like you got to get big key anyway. So that worked out.
Yeah, no sign of that mushroom at all. That would have saved quite a bit. That would actually factor in big time with this race.
Yeah, if it was somewhere nice, it would have been nice. But yeah, I guess it's probably
I don't
Turtle
think
Rock.
any of us like fake powdering with no hammer.
Yeah,
I don't think
a
I would
bit of a
ever do
stretch.
that.
The mirror was in Hype Cave. Like, you'd have to take the mirror from Hype Cave, get your mitts, and then like go all the way back. Like, mushroom or not, that hammer was just the worst.
All we had left when we found the hammer was Zora, yeah.
I think we were kind of similar situation at that point in time.
Did you both have Ice Rod before going up to TR to get the flippers?
Yeah.
Okay.
I ended up fake flippering into ice at one point in time.
Yeah, I think everyone fake learned ice. It basically came down to, at one point, it was just, okay, the go mode is in Turtle Rock, regardless of where it is. It's pretty much, we were pretty much in no mode without actually having all the items.
Yeah, I didn't say anything, but I was worried because it's so easy with two people to look over something, and when you're going in to fire out this Turtle Rock, this is your last option. It's like, oh no, did I forget something?
I was telling Gamma, I'm like, maybe I forgot to check library. Like, maybe our go mode's just sitting there.
Yeah, I kept thinking, I was like, did I get the Skullwoods big key somewhere? Or like,
Can we talk about that Skullwoods front, by the way?
oh, it's awful.
Key, map, compass. That was great.
Yeah, I know there was also a lumberjack check really early on by both teams, but I actually just realized, I never realized what was there.
Bombs.
Oh, it was just bombs?
Yeah,
It was such a fast check, I missed it completely. Yeah, overall, this was a really good race. Ace Goldfish came out on top, and like we said earlier while we were waiting for you guys to come in, there is still next week is the bad keys settings with your teams. You're looking forward to finding some new teams here?
Definitely.
Yeah, ready for some switch ups at this point in time. Try something a little different. Clearly, what happened this week didn't really work out for us, so switching up seems like a good thing to do.
Who's racing from each of your teams in Fat Keys?
That'll be me and Demo next week.
It's gonna be me and Gamma for us.
Well, looking forward to it. Hopefully, you guys on the Waffle House drive-thru side can definitely score some points and come back in the playoffs and get some revenge on Skull Kids.
That would be nice, especially since they eliminated us last year as well.
Yeah, I still never get to play Fear Agent. He was supposed to play us, but then he kind of ran scared, calling the big guns with Gamachu.
Oh yeah, he just messaged me. I can't deal with Matt and Salty Fry again. I just can't. Can you go cover for me?
I see him talking trash in chat here.
It's okay, Fear. I got you. No, but really, it's fortunate. Shireen ended up going back to get the boots early because it sounds like Matt, you probably waited until it's tried to get the hammer before single dip it, but it just didn't work out at the end there.
Yeah, so like what happened to me was, I think like Shireen, right? I was already over on the west side, so I finished that loop, and then I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna quickly check Hera before I go to pod because boots don't really save much time with that check. And then you find the mitts, and then you find the flute and the cane, and you're like, okay, now I can do it with the green pendant. So that's at least something if I don't find the hammer. And then it just forced me to be kind of inefficient.
Yeah, that's rough because as soon as we did Hype Cave, we got the mirror. I did what is it? The Bombos tablet, and Shireen did K45, and from there I'm like, okay, you know what? We got the glove, we got mirror, and we got boots. Maybe it's in King's Tomb. Just go to pod, get the boots early. And I told Shireen, the longer the hammer's sticking out there, the better it is for us because they might single dip it if they find hammer, and then ultimately it just ended up being behind that powder. So it just kind of worked out for us to get have Shireen go back there early as he could.
Yeah, the one thing I wonder though, if I had gone over there right away, like would I have just left after the boots and not gotten the powder? I don't know what I would have done. So it might have made it worse if I did it earlier.
As long as you route in the big key, which I feel like if you really think logically about the layout and all that, you shouldn't end up skipping out on powder. But it's definitely a bait to get really screwed by that, for sure.
Yeah.
I will at least say one nice thing about the seed, though. The combat in the seed was very generous, giving you gold sword and red armor in, the first 30 minutes or so after Dark World access, at the very least.
Yeah, they were all pretty nice. I guess I could have skipped catfish and got the one into Gina a little more easily eventually, but I didn't have the flute and know where the flute or mirror was going to be at that point.
Yeah, the both armor upgrades were relatively close to each other, too. I believe Skull Kids in particular, you guys each have blue mail, but it's a different piece, but you got it from different locations.
Oh yeah, there was no way I was going to pick up the other armor upgrade. I just kind of wanted to trim time at that point because I took a death on right side of pod right before I grabbed the key. So I'm like, this is a super linear seed, and they might be ahead of if it just kind of leads to last location. But yeah, I guess the boots pretty much kind of really helped us getting it early, that is.
Boots, flute, hookshot, best mobility items in Rando, in Link to the Past in general.
Will not deny that. And yeah, linear seeds are admittedly not the best play, but you did really well, both of you, all things considering, all four of you, really.
Yeah, I'm happy though. I'm happy, and yeah, it's always scary going up against someone like Salty Fry and Matt. So I'm just kind of glad it ended up working out in our favor there at the end.
Yep, it's still early in the league. Plenty more races to go. Could even rematch each other for later on in the playoffs, for all we know. But yeah, GG's to you guys once again. Any final thoughts about the seed before we move on?
No, just thanks for the commentary, by the way, in the stream.
Yeah, just echoing what Matt just said. Thanks for the commentary and restream and tracker as well. Yeah, GG's again to Matt and Salty Fry, Demolisher, and good luck in the next several weeks coming up.
Yeah, GG's. Good luck, guys.
Yeah, GG's.
Yeah, GG's. Same to you guys.
Yeah, GG's to you all once again, folks. Let's make sure to drop a follow on all four of these guys. They deserve it. Here, and if you want to see more racing action, this is actually the last race for League tonight. We have a total of 4 matches scheduled across us tomorrow, but currently we do not have restreams from that at this time. The earliest match on the schedule would be at 3:10. So if we can get a restream for that, keep an eye out for that then. But also make sure to follow our trackers Lumaga and Professor Pixie, keeping those items up to date for us down below. And also to my co-commenter Nitro, definitely nice work from you. Very good, well done. And you guys
Pleasure.
and you can always drop a follow on me too. I have been Waffle370, and from all of us here at the Link to Best Randomizer League, we shall see you all next time. And thank you for watching. Have a good night, everyone.